After years of almost exclusively doing dramas like Manchester by the Sea, which won him his first Oscar, Casey Affleck was a little tired. I wanted to do a comedy, and no one ever sends me comedies that ended in my 20s, he tells Entertainment Weekly. And I found one that was close enough to what I wanted to do by Chuck McLean. He's a great screenwriter. He has 20 unproduced screenplays in his house, and I read a lot of them. And I found one that I thought would work, and then he was nice enough to let me work on it for over a year. That screenplay would become his latest film, The Instigators, but not before a lot of collaboration between him and some very familiar faces. I thought I got it to a place where it would just like dazzle everybody I knew, and I sent it to Matt, Damon, and Lucy, Damon's wife, first, and they had a kind of lukewarm response like it might be good enough with some work, he says with a laugh. Affleck, who, alongside his brother Ben, has known Damon for over 40 years, says he actually wanted his longtime friend to direct the film. Damon refused, but conceded to be in it, at least. And then I believe I said, well, maybe Matt could get Doug Liman to direct it. He obviously knew Doug and had worked with him on 2002's Bourne Identity, and I'd always wanted to, and this is exactly the kind of thing that he does really, really well and has for a long time. Matt called him up and got him involved, and then he sort of just took the whole thing apart, and then we all kind of put it back together as a group. One of the group's key members was Damon's wife, Luciana Barroso, who was on set every day. She was also the first person to read Affleck's draft of the script and offer her thoughts. She had great ideas, he says, before taking the opportunity to take a jab at his old friend. And it was pretty clear a lot of her ideas sounded like things that Matt said, and I was like, oh, I realize now that probably Matt was getting all of his good ideas from Lucy on other projects in the past. Damon, sitting beside Affleck for the interview, laughs, and doesn't deny there might be some truth to the joke. It's the first movie she's ever taken credit on, but she's been behind the scenes on all of them for 21 years, he says. And now that the kids are older, we just said, well, why don't you do it more officially? You're great at it, and you love to do it. So this was the first one that she took an executive producer credit. She wasn't even going to take a credit, and it was very sweet. The other producers on the film said they wouldn't take credit on it unless she did. And so that's a very, very nice thing, and really proud that this is the first one her name's on. In the film, Damon plays a desperate father named Rory who teams up with Cobby, an ex-con and total stranger, to rob a corrupt politician in Boston. But when the heist goes wrong, the two find themselves engulfed in a whirlwind of chaos, pursued not only by the police but also by backward bureaucrats and vengeful crime bosses. Oh, and Rory's therapist, played by Hong Chow, also gets dragged along for the ride. A running gag in the film is that Damon's character is straight-laced to the point of humorlessness and practically never smiles or laughs. Affleck's Cobby, on the other hand, is a loudmouth and desperately wants to get Rory to laugh. When asked if this is reminiscent of their bond in real life, the two have a pitch-perfect answer. No, it's just that Casey wanted to write a comedy and needed a straight man, and so wrote me a part in a comedy where the guy actually doesn't smile, and that's in the script, Damon deadpants. So that just, I think, speaks more to Casey and his selfishness. Fantasy. Affleck corrects him. It's wish fulfillment that Matt would just be quiet. The Instigators also stars Hong Chow, Michael Stuhlbarg, Paul Walterhauser, Ving Rhames, Alfred Molina, and Toby Jones, with Jack Harlow and Ron Perlman. It is now streaming globally on Apple TV+.